What's going on, guys? Your boy Maze. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, me doing the Eikthyrnir showcase with Mael only. No Jormungandr in this video, just like we did with the Magelda showcase or the Mael showcase on the bird. The world tour we got. This is part 2 with the deer right here, and as you guys can see, we are running the attack crit damage. We are running the the deer card set. I did do some edits for this video because I wanted to make it just so I have the actual run and not the other stuff, so we can kind of go through it a little bit easier. This is still a 20-minute recording though, because it did take a minute. But yeah, as you guys can see, the team is Margaret, Green Elizabeth, Sariel, and Mael. Also, one thing I wanted to ask of you guys, like the video, just do it. I want to see how many likes I can get on this video, man. Let's just go crazy, yo. Like the video. I never thought to just ask like you guys to just like instantly, and then yeah, just enjoy the video, man. But yeah, no Jormungandr. We are running Sariel, Green Elizabeth, Margaret, Mael. We obviously have to have one of each color for the color cycling, so Green Elizabeth being the only good green character other than Green Sariel, but I had to run her because she has heals as well. And then obviously Margaret for the buff, for the basic side increase. Also, she's a blue character, so our blue cards. Sariel is going to be double red, and his ultimate is also a damaging ultimate too, so he has triple cards. So him and Mael are really going to be having a lot of the damage on these runs. You're not really going to be seeing the damage from Elizabeth or Margaret, but they're not meant to be doing a lot of damage anyway. But yeah, one thing that I completely just when I was doing this run, I just I don't know, like my brain is just so used to using Jormungandr that like I'm always like using only like 3 cards, right? But in this run, I wasn't actually doing that. I had to just attack and everything, so I had to kind of go crazy. But yeah, so right here we do a red, green, blue, red, green, blue. And then, yeah, we can do the follow-up with Mael. I wanted to see how much damage he would do. I didn't think it would like kill or anything like that, but I was curious to see his damage potential. So off the rip, like when we get the attack related up, we go for the attack. And I know Mael hits like really hard, which right there is a lot of damage, man. 676k off color. Obviously getting attack sealed right there, not the normal play you should do. But we do have Cleanse of Margaret. We did get really lucky top decking. So I decided, I was like, okay, let's do the Margaret Cleanse, and then we could just go kind of crazy with the Sariel red card and then follow up. But yeah, a little bit of a risky play there for sure. But I wanted to just see mild damage, right? So right here we do the I think I reset. I do the red card first. Yeah, I do the Sariel card first to get a basic stat increase, because if you guys don't know, Sariel Holy Relic is whenever you crit with him, you actually do gain 8% basic stats, which is very good. I think that's one of the better relics in the game, especially for like on-field damage. Something to note as well is that this video was recorded when I actually had 4 to 6 Mael. I do have 5 to 6 at the moment. So this is when his buffs were not gray buffs, they're actually red buffs. So you guys probably have the same effects with your Mael, like, you know what I mean? Like a 1 to 6 or 2 to 6, you're only gonna be seeing the 1 sunspot. Mine does too. But like, yeah, in the video you guys will see that it's only the red debuffs, like as you can see from like his attack card, right? Kind of like that. But yeah, he's really good though. I'm not gonna lie, I think he's this is probably the best team you could run without Jormungandr for like a deer clear. I think this actually is the best team, whereas like my video where I showcased Mael on the bird, I didn't think he was the best non-Magelda bird team. I still do think the ultimate Eikthyrnir, Green Gother, Margaret, Matrona team is probably better, but in this actual run, I do think this team is the best non-Jormungandr team for the deer, because the deer is a lot more difficult, right, than the bird. I feel like the deer is like, without Jormungandr, you have like no characters that can do enough damage with like the stats they have, right? I think the best character was probably like Trader Melee at the time. And like now it's like you could run like an ultimate Eikthyrnir or perk melee and do like the old team that people used to run, where it was like Trader Melee, Matrona, the one Eikthyrnir, and then I think the red character was the green character was Brunhild. So like people would run teams like that, but like nowadays it's like we've kind of gotten past that point. I do think. But yeah, as you guys can see here, we kind of are stalling a little bit too long here. I wanted to just make sure I get the kill and move on to the next phase though, and Sariel is able to do that. We have pretty much stacked up my basic stats like crazy, and Sariel does get the kill right there, and then we move into the final phase where pretty much all we got to do now is just cycle through, and then he's dead. So you know, fairly easy floor 1, and like, you know, no Jormungandr, no stats needed. Like Margaret, Sariel, Mael do enough, you know what I mean, for like the stat increases. And then also Elizabeth is giving 15% HP related on her holy relic, so you know, this team is actually not bad. The only thing that I dislike about this team is the fact that you know, you need to run a consistent healer being Elizabeth, and then Elizabeth only has 1 attack card, so that's a little bit rough. But other than that, it's not the worst thing in the world. But it could definitely be better. But yeah, guys, that's floor 1. We do get the clear right there, and I think we do finish with like pretty much full health. Yeah. So yeah, moving into floor 2 now. I do have the seamless cuts now on the actual video. I didn't have to, you know, script in myself because it was just edited. You know, I had to edit. Yeah, floor 2 was a little bit more you know, time consuming, I think, because I had to deal with a lot of the problems of floor 2, where, you know, on floor 2 phase 2, you guys know you have to get frozen, and then obviously me bringing the I think wait, did I have the basic stat card set? I don't know if I had the basic stat card set or the single target card set. If I had the basic stat one, that means I cannot have maximum ultimate move gauge if I'm attacking to get frozen, because at that point, you know, if I was to get like try to get frozen but I have maximum ultimate move gauge, it wouldn't work with that card set. But I completely forgot what card set I have. But yeah, so right here I was running Red Tarmiel and Elizabeth, as you guys can see. So Red Tarmiel and Elizabeth obviously helping to keep her, you know, sustained, but I wasn't really worried about health on this team, really. Like the tankiness of the team I wasn't necessarily worried about. And I think if I was running, I don't know though. You see, the thing is, like, if I was thinking to run like just a full basic stat team, but you know, like what other green character could I run anyway? And I was like, okay, you know, if I'm gonna run a green character, I might as well run like a healer. And so I thought for the green Elizabeth, right? So like, I don't know, man. I think this team is like fairly, like, you know, it's fairly straightforward though. But the Elizabeth not having like any other attack card other than her single target, and that's it, is a detriment. Like, at least Margaret has an ultimate, right? If I get an ultimate with her, I can know for a fact I have a blue card. Whereas with Elizabeth, I get her ultimate, it's just a heal, and it's not really gonna do anything on the deer. That's why like Jormungand's so good, because she has double attack and her ultimate does damage, and then all the other characters who run with her are usually attacking characters, right? So that's a situation where like most of the time you're just able to do like insane damage, because you're only having like attack cards and attack skills. So yeah, right here I do have the ultimate with Elizabeth, and I'm like, okay, you know, maybe we can go into the you know, the phase 2, you know, maybe with a, like an ultimate on like Sariel or something. But the thing is too, like, I have a lot of Sariel cards, and you guys see I have no Margaret cards. I have no no, I do have one Elizabeth card, but I have like no Margaret cards. So I was thinking like maybe I should kind of like clear up my hand a little bit, you know, push it to Sariel ultimate. I didn't want to get a Mael ultimate because I felt like that would have been a little bit of a waste, because you know, on this phase you don't want a card to be off color. You want to have the on color because you get the fixed damage here. So, and luckily we did top deck a Margaret card there, and her being at 4 gauge was enough to make it so that I was able to get her ultimate just to be safe. But yeah, so we start with red, green, blue, and then, oh no, so we reset blue, red, green. Right, I guess we started with blue because I have a Margaret ultimate guaranteed. That's why I did. I could have did red though, but I decided to move cards right there, get a Mael ultimate, which you know, in the grand scheme of things might not have been the best play, but it still works out, right? It wasn't like too bad. So I do the single target right there, and then we do remove the fixed damage. We do get a buff card with Margaret. We have ultimate on both Margaret and Sariel. No green card though. So that was something that, you know, was a little bit annoying. But remember, on this part of the deer, you actually want to get frozen, right? You want your character to get frozen. So that was something that I you know, was trying to go for. So right here, we do the Margaret buff card. We do, I was gonna say I can just get frozen with my Mael, right? I think that's what I go for anyway. So I do the Margaret card, I do the Sariel card, that's gonna be blue, red, and then we don't have a green card, so I just followed up with the Mael attack card. So this shows that I did not have the basic stat cards, that I actually did have the what's it called? The card set for single target damage from the bird. Yeah, so I had that card set because my Mael is ultimate move gauge, and I went for the damage here. You see, I should have I could have dropped his ultimate too, would have been fine. But yeah, as you guys can see, I was able to get frozen, so I did have the single target card set. But yeah, right here you want to get frozen so that when you take the AoE, it misses. If you're not frozen, you just get one banged, and I didn't want to test that out with God's team, even though it's a very tanky team. Did not want to test it out at all. So I was like, okay, it's fine. But yeah, right here, I decided to just kill with Mael right there. Because I know Sariel's not going to do enough damage, so I was like, okay, it's fine. I do merge for the Sariel, rank 3 right there. And I wanted to just kind of clear out my hand as much as possible, guys. It's hard, man, because you have to clear your hand. You have to make sure you have an Elizabeth card for every color cycle phase, right? Because it can become an issue if you don't. And then, yeah, like, I don't know. Other than Elizabeth, I feel like the rest of the team feels pretty good. I mean, Margaret could definitely use a buff for sure, but the rest of the team feels good enough. Mael does 296k right there. Mael AoE does about 121k, nothing crazy. But then we follow up with the Sariel AoE just to get a big basic stat increase. So yeah, now we're doing like fairly good. We do have a Margaret buff as well. This is where we get infected too, which is a little bit unfortunate. Infect, obviously making it so that my Elizabeth ultimate is not going to work, but we do have Margaret cleanse, which is very, very good. And that's why I feel like Margaret, even though she only has that one attack card, her buff card is very, very good in that we can, you know, cleanse all these really bad debuffs and start to deal just a ton of damage. So yeah, so I was like, okay, let's rip the ultimate and then we'll fill gauge again. And I don't have an Elizabeth card, man. I still don't. You know, that's one of the issues right now. Is not having the Elizabeth card, but you know, we're getting a lot of crits with Sariel though, so big basic stats. I like it, but you know, it's still not enough. And then we do get an Elizabeth card right there, so that's good. And then right here, as you guys can see, the deer is about half health. One thing to do a lot more with Mael that I should have probably done was just waste his cards on phases that weren't color cycling phases, because you know, the thing is with Mael is that, yeah, like right here I do double waste it. But the thing is that he's not a red, green, or blue character, so he's not color cycling for you, right? He's pretty much useless other than the phases that aren't color cycle. So, you know, when you are color cycling, you want to make sure your hand is cleared out of all those cards, so you could have the, you know, the very strong, or not the very strong cards, but like the color cycling cards specifically. But you know, it does come into play on Final Floor though, having Mael cards, because at that point it's like you just need the damage, right? But right here we are on the final phase of floor 2 right here, guys. So we do the Margaret ultimate, we do the Sariel single target, the single target with the Elizabeth right there, and then we follow up with the merge, just so I have a ultimate with Sariel for free. And then yeah, like right here I'm like, okay, well, like this is kind of just like I could get the kill, right? You know, we have a Margaret card, we have a Sariel card, I have my ultimate, like what are they gonna do really, right? So you know, he follows up, he does his AoE. You know, the team is very tanky too, guys. The team is very, very tanky. Bear in mind, my Margaret is HP defense, my Elizabeth HP, my Sariel's attack crit, and my Mael's attack crit as well. So that's like kind of like the gear sets and like what I was kind of going for as well, you know, for the team. But right here, this is pretty much enough to kill that setup. So we do the AoE with Margaret, just to, you know, do some chip damage. Also, because we're attacking in on blue, we do the ultimate with Sariel. That's going to do the 267k, and then Mael ultimate, and boom, we do get the kill. Barely though, 140k. Not a lot of damage there, but we do actually get the kill. So yeah, guys, that's going to be the floor 2 right there. Moving into the floor 3 now. We got about 9 minutes, 10 minutes left in the video, so you know, it's very, very long, as you guys can tell. But it's okay. You know, the fight, it is what it is, in terms of the actual run. But right here, we do start with the heal card. I decided to start with a heal card with the buff card because we already had like kind of low HP. And remember, we have the Tarmiel link on the Elizabeth, not the Margaret. So I was like, okay, Margaret is the lowest HP range, so we gotta kind of heal her up as much as possible. But right here, he does attack into the Margaret to seal her. We do have a buff card to cleanse though, which is really good. So it never really mattered if we did get sealed. But you know, getting sealed, it can be a little bit annoying, especially if it wasn't Margaret. If it was like Sariel, it would have been kind of annoying. And if I didn't top deck a Margaret cleanse, then you know, it could be an issue. But nothing we really needed to worry about. So I use the Sariel AoE, I do the Margaret AoE, and I move the Elizabeth card. Always moving Elizabeth card is safer because you don't want to use it until you get another one. If you get another one, then it's okay, you can use it. But if you don't, then you just gotta hold on to it, man. Because that card like is literally the only green card you could use for color cycling, and you need it. You need at least one. So always have one in your hand if you're gonna be trying this team. And then you should be okay. But yeah, as long as you have one, you don't really have to worry about the color cycle as much as you would. Yeah. Right here we use the buff card right there, guys. We do the AoE with Sariel, get another stack on his Holy Relic. We follow up with the double Mael cards just to clear it out my hand, because remember, going into this next phase, I don't want to have Mael cards. I want to have the color cycling cards, right? As I mentioned earlier, you always want to just, you know, kind of get his cards out of your hand. Waste Mael cards when you can, just so you can just dish out a ton of damage, move into the color cycling phases, and then if you're on like the last bit of a color cycle, you can go for the kill on the phase with Mael, right? It really just depends, you know. So yeah, right here, not a very good top deck, I will say, because we only got what, Mael cards. Not a very good top deck, but you know, we had to let it rock. So right here, I should start with the Margaret ultimate. That's the safest bet. Margaret ultimate, Sariel single target, Elizabeth single target, and then Mael or Margaret AoE. That was the play I think I should go with, and I did. Okay, which is good. But yeah, and then we do that. That's damage cap with Margaret ultimate. We do about 180k with Sariel right there, 47k with Elizabeth. Hey, yo, Elizabeth actually does like fairly decent damage, guys. Like I don't expect her to do that much, but she just does. Like sometimes she'll hit a little bit hard. But yeah, right here we do have the Sariel ultimate. We do have the Elizabeth ultimate to push gauge as well. And we do not have a actual green card, as you guys can see, which is the main issue I've been saying with this team, is that you only have an attack card with Elizabeth, and so like your top decks for attack cards with her is not the greatest at all. So you like getting you know, a attack card with Elizabeth is very, very lucky. But right here I was like, okay, maybe we could finish him off though. You know what I mean? I could do like the Sariel ultimate that's going to do a pretty much damage cap, and then I'd have to bank on the fact that Mael could kill or not. But I didn't really know if I was going to go for the kill or not with that setup. But we do the ultimate with Elizabeth. We do the ultimate with Sariel. And then we do the AoE with Mael. And then the single target, which I probably should have did the... Oh no, the AoE was enough. The AoE was enough. Look at that. Mael just being a goated unit, bro. I think I should have did the single target just to be safe, but, you know, Mael is just crazy that he was able to just dish out a billion damage, bro. It doesn't matter. But right here, we're not on a color cycle phase now, so I wasn't really worried to waste Mael ultimate or not. So I decided to just get it out of my hand, use the Sariel card as well, get some basic side increase. We dropped the ultimate with Mael, bop. 300k at 4 to 6, no sunspots applied. So I feel like at 1 out of 6 he should be okay. And a lot of you guys are saying in my bird video that actually your 1 out of 6 Maels were able to hit damage cap on the first floor final phase, which is, you know, something to take into account. But yeah, as you guys can see, we actually do have a lot of Liz attack cards, which is a rare sight, especially in this Demonic Beast. So that is pretty funny. But yeah, right there I was like, okay, regardless though, I still gotta kind of clear out my hand. Like having one card with Elizabeth is a safe bet. Always to just kind of have that. And so I was like, okay, we'll just, you know, clear out the hand, end my turn. We have another ultimate to push for gauge as well. But I wanted to make sure I'm going into the final phase with a Sariel card no matter what. Because you cannot go into the final phase without having a card of each character. You need a color cycle card. And that is going to be something very, very important when actually going through, especially this part of the deer. So let's kind of like skip through a little bit here, because I'm mostly just me kind of stalling here. You know what I mean? Just kind of wasting cards to like get good cards. But right here we do have the buff removal, and we still also have another Elizabeth card. So I buff remove. We do the AoE right there. Just to get I feel like I'm at max stacks now, Holy Relic active, but I feel like I'm at max stacks, and then just waste the Mael card. And then the following turn, we do go for the kill here. So we'll kind of skip a little bit of his turn. Yeah, we do get the Margaret buff again, so we reapply Margaret buff. I waste the AoE right there with Mael. I do a single target with Sariel right there, and then I pretty much just end my turn, right? I don't want to get Elizabeth ultimate this turn. I want to actually wait to get it when I get on the final phase, right? I don't want to actually get it this turn because then an extra card slot is taken up of Elizabeth ultimate, right? And I don't want that to be the case. Mael AoE kills, we move into the final floor, and remember guys, he does have fixed damage here, and you have to kill him when he's around a little bit above 20% HP, remember. So that is like the requirement for actually getting the kill here on Eikthyrnir. So right here I go for the red, green, blue setup, right? And then I follow up with the Sariel ultimate. Sariel's ultimate at this point in the fight is enough to do damage cap. So I'm built up to the point where I'm like, okay, you know, a Sariel ultimate is going to be enough to do the damage cap, and I don't really have to waste my ultimate going off color to get corrosion or anything like that. We can just always Sariel 307k straight up. We do get the Elizabeth ultimate. It is taken away. But this does clear up my hand a little bit to where the point where I have a lot of Mael single targets. And as you guys can see from this range, it might not be a bad idea to attack with Mael single targets, right? And you guys will see here what happens when I actually go for it. But pretty much the main issue that arose when I was doing this, which there will be a reset, spoiler alert, is that Mael does too much damage. Unfortunately, I do reset and I just go for the Mael cards because I was like, okay, well, he probably will do enough damage here, right? So I do the buff card, I do the Mael card, I think I do the rank 1 Mael, and then I do the rank 2, and it was just too much damage. And then from there I learned like, okay, you know, I gotta reset, and yeah, so I did the rank 2, rank 1, rank 2. And then as you guys will see, it's a little bit too much damage, and so I definitely had to switch up the play. But you guys will see, look at that. So that's damage cap, right? 311k, pretty much damage cap. That's like 3, I think it's like 3, no, it might be 311. But yeah, right there, I do reset. So I already edited that part out where I did reset. So I was like, okay, maybe the smarter play is to do, you know, add a little bit extra damage from Sariel maybe. Because I know my Mael is doing like a lot of damage. And I know I got him to like this range as well. Because I did do damage cap. I was like, okay, damage cap, I could do like 10%. And then damage cap and he's dead. So I was like, okay, Sariel single target should be enough to put him in that range, and then we follow up and we should get the kill. And so that's exactly what happens. So we do follow up, and then we actually get the kill. So Mael single target, boom, 311k. Sariel does his thing and actually puts him in the range to be killed, which is perfect for Mael to actually finish off the fight because he does the damage cap, guys, 312k. So yeah, man, let me know what you guys think of Mael in the Deer. I think this was a very good showcase, and this is in my opinion best team to run if you do not have Jormungandr. If you want to actually clear the Deer and you do not have Jormungandr, Mael will get you that clear. He's very, very good. The team itself is not like, you know, like it's like a super new team or anything like that. Like Green Elizabeth is super old SSR unit. Sariel is super old at this point as well, and Margaret is a very old festival character. So, you know, in general, this team is like fairly, you know, easy to acquire. So I do think this is attainable for a lot of players. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. That's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always. If you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace out and have a good rest of your day.